Scary story number 1. Title, Dark Web. The story begins. I spent a lot of time on the internet, mostly looking at videos on YouTube or sites that are not normally visited because the content is very explicit for viewers with weak stomachs. I used to do this with my friend Todd after school on Fridays or weekends, depending on what fits best for us. But the both of us got bored of the things we watched together, so Todd insisted that we could try the dark web, since the dark web is known for having the most twisted content on there, more twisted than what we would watch regularly. I didn't give in at first because I know that it could put me at risk for getting tracked and, well, you know the rest. But Todd told me to install a VPN while on the site and put tape on the laptop camera just for safety. Eventually I did give in, and that is when Todd and I went into the dark web. At first, it looked like any other site, just more sketchier with categories that you wouldn't see even in more twisted sites I mentioned earlier. Some of the categories were cannibalism, rape, child porn, murder, mutilation, professional hitman, and so on. Actually, one of the categories I mentioned was the first thing that popped up when we first went into the site. I won't get into too much detail about it, but let's just say that it involved children. Of course, we didn't click on those videos, so we went into one that didn't have that. When we did, we saw a video of a woman who was naked and had her mouth duct taped and had no legs because they were cut off with a hacksaw. The man in the video was wearing an animal mask that looked like a sheep. The thing about the mask was, it was the face from a real sheep that the man probably cut off to wear. We watched until he started to go for the arms, and then we clicked off that one. "Click that one," said Todd. And I replied saying, "Are you sure you want to see this one? This one looks worse than the last one." Todd says, "Just do it," in an annoyed way. I did what Todd told me to do, and I was right. This one was worse because it wasn't one victim, it was 3. 2 women and 1 man, but they were nothing but torsos with a head. They had words not written on their bodies, but it looked like they were burned into them with a torch. I couldn't hear any screaming from them, so I assumed that the person who did this found a way to remove their voice boxes. But somehow they were alive. Todd and I were both feeling more and more uneasy until the man in this video turned out to be the same man from the previous video with his bloody sheep mask, looking directly at the camera, pointing with his hacksaw and said, "You're next, Todd." That is when I closed out the dark web and turned off my laptop. I don't know how it was possible that he knew Todd's name, but that is when he really started to panic. I told him he could stay the night with me to calm down, and nothing happened after the next day. Story ends.